want to talk today about why I decided to make this podcast. Over the years, I've tried lots of ways to be healthier, but really all I was doing was trying to be smaller. It took a long time to separate a lower weight and being healthy. As a teen, I took diet pills and would try not to eat, but that only led to times of eating whatever I wanted. Later, the low-carb diet was popular, and I could do that for a while, but making carbs the enemy and an off-limit food wasn't a long-term solution. I bounced between different diets and workout crazes, but always seemed to not keep up with it. It can be exhausting trying to force yourself into an un-you way of being. It wasn't until I realized that what I really needed to focus on was balance. For me, having things off limits was off limits. But that doesn't mean that has to be the same case for everybody. Too often people get an all or nothing attitude, and worse than that is when people judge and try to force you into their own ideas of what you should do. But at the same time, it's natural to want to be told the right thing to do. Just tell me what I need to do and I'll do it. But it's just not that simple. And it doesn't have to be a negative thing, though. All it means is that you have the freedom to do it your way, because even when you are trying to do what we think we should do, if it's not right for you, it won't work long term. But that's not a personal failure. It just means you need to learn from the experience and take with you anything that works and leave the other things that weren't working. After studying natural health, the biggest thing that I came away with is that there are a lot of options when it comes to finding a balance. And when you do that, things become easier and fall into place on their own. Did I intend on going to school for holistic health? No. Did I do it? Yeah, kinda. I never intended to go to school for holistic health. It was just one of those things where it kind of snowballs. First, I wanted to just learn about herbs, and I wanted to maybe put together a little bath product. And then I started looking at the kind of stuff that other people would put together. Some people would put, a whole bunch of different herbs into one, bath tea product. And then I would look at others and they would be a lot more simple, maybe only one or two. And then, the salts or the, make a milk bath type of thing. And then that started making me think about, well, yeah, I guess if you put more things into the product, then there are more things for people to react to. So then I was like, hold on, I need to look into this a little bit more. I can't just be slapping herbs and salts together and just going out there with a product. So I was like, okay, first let me get some basic health schooling. Learn about allergies and just, general overall health. So I took my first course and it was the basic, make sure to get some sunlight, make sure to get enough sleep, make sure to drink enough water, make sure to eat well and don't stress too much. And the more I looked into that stuff, the more things I thought people should know about. And then I got deeper into it where we started talking about essential oils and, maybe Bach flowers and Reams and homeopathy and other modalities in health. And I thought about it and I didn't want to ever do a practice of my own where I had people coming to me for health advice or guidance, just because it always seemed like there's always those people that want to fight you on it. I didn't want to have my job be trying to convince somebody into doing stuff when they would just leave the office and do what they want and then maybe do a little bit of what you said, but do more of what they wanted to do and then say that your advice didn't help them or it didn't work. That was never what I wanted to do with it. I did think that people needed to find out about these things though. So at first I thought maybe I would do talks, things like that, maybe do presentations somewhere and let people know, the dangers of using essential oils the wrong way, because that seemed like a really popular thing that, a lot of moms were getting into and talking about on Facebook and posting things on Pinterest and kind of encouraging each other to kind of use it in not the best way. And so I figured I needed to figure out a way to talk to as many people as I can, and being stuck in an office was not going to be the way to do it. And on the flip side of people being negative about the advice that you are trying to give them, there was also the know-it-all, I'm a health professional person attitude too, that I would kind of see in the forums for the classes that I was taking. People being like, oh, well, I would have somebody do this and that, and if they wouldn't do it, then blah, blah, blah. And I was just like, man, everybody really needs to just kind of settle down with this stuff. Everybody is looking to be given advice or to be the one in power giving the advice, when I really think it's important to take the time to get to understand your body. Because one of the things that I realized in going to school for these things is that you get a lot of choices in ways to be healthy, and you can pick any one or combination of them that suits you, that you like to do. You don't have to be forced to do it in a way that you don't like. If you're not interested or you don't find pleasure in lifting weights or going for long runs or something like that, you don't have to do it that way. There are ways that you can do it just in small actions, and just being consistent with that, it can improve your overall health. Like, if you don't feel like working out one day, that's fine. Everybody has those days. You can either give yourself a rest day, or you could just, you could do housework or do the gardening or take just a short walk around the block, just as long as you're doing something, that all counts towards the goal of being healthy. The only time when it's not healthy is when you just don't do anything. So you don't have to give yourself goals that are too big, and you don't have to have the same set of goals every day. And the ways you choose to relax can also be just as important as the ways you try to stay active. Maybe you just need some quiet time. Some people like to get a massage. I don't like it, but that's fine. Some people think that going to the gym and working out is relaxing, and some people think it sounds like a nightmare. And other interests can help a lot too, keeping your mind off of things. You find yourself over-obsessing about, what you're eating or something like that. Find something else to do and take your mind off of it, and the time will just go by. I think boredom is one of the hardest things for me, and it's funny because I always think I need all this extra time to relax, but I'm trying to relax so hard that I'm getting bored and I'm feeling like I'm not getting anything accomplished, and then I start feeling, unhappy, but you know what'll help that? Some more relaxation, right? So yeah, a lot of the times I need to stay more occupied and busy than I actually realize. And I always have to remind myself of that. Having a creative outlet is nice too. I don't know how many times I've got caught up in a project and, I almost didn't eat all day or something like that. It just, it can be all consuming, and it's kind of exhilarating too, because it's exciting. You're getting something done. You're like, in the groove of it. And it doesn't even matter if you're good at it. Honestly, as long as you're doing something, you can enjoy it. Doesn't mean it has to be the best painting or the best piece of pottery, but you can still have fun doing it. Another really important factor for people can be just basic socializing. And I know that's gotten more difficult, but at this point down the road that most people have kind of figured some way out. And if you haven't, probably need to ask people, because they might be able to help you out and figure out how to get in touch with people and do things. Because a lot of times being isolated and feeling alone, even to a small degree, can really affect your mood and kind of get you in this spiral of sadness that, you might not even really realize that you're in on the surface. Paying attention to yourself and really understanding what you need to be happy is important, because a lot of times we get caught up in worrying about work or worrying about other people that we don't even realize what we're missing or what we need. We're always worried about outer things and not really focusing on ourselves. But you're the only one who could possibly know. And so it's so important to actually take the time to be with your feelings and your thoughts and understand yourself. It's easy to look at other people and feel like they don't have these same problems too, but really we all do. Everybody thinks that everybody else is happier or has things more together or is more motivated and doesn't have to struggle or push themselves to do things that they know they need to do. But really, we're all the same. Everybody feels that way from time to time, and we all deal with it in our own ways. And I know that's why I like listening to other people talk about their experiences and what they've been going through, because sometimes you can relate and other times you think, I never even thought of it like that. Seeing other people's perspectives can help you see things from a different angle. And sometimes that different angle can kind of help put other things into alignment and maybe things will click. And, sometimes that fresh outlook is all you need to see everything differently. So really, this podcast is a way for me to talk to the people that I've heard say something interesting and I think is valuable. And I'm really excited to share it all with you.